Sometimes when we're looking at these shows and they go back in the past, right? Like 90 Day Fiance the other way and stuff like that. And this season, I thought it wasn't beneficial to go back, especially when they start talking about Jasmine and Gino, and we already know that she's had the baby and stuff. But on tonight's episode of 90 Day Fiance Happily Ever After, child, they got a little plot twist in there for us. And honey, I was shocked. Let's talk about it, shall we? Oh, yes, we shall. A sweet old auntie. Thank you, subscribers, and my listening and viewers. All of y'all who have been here through the long. Shall we get into it? Oh, yes, we shall. It's time for auntie advice. Sweet old. It's time for auntie advice. Oh, yeah. It's time for auntie advice. Me and myself. Wait a minute. Do y'all see this woman on here crying? What is she crying for? You may be asking yourself. Hi, everybody. This is Auntie. Happy Sunday, y'all. Ciao. When I tell you that I was racing through every chore that I had to do on my Sunday to get to y'all with this mess. Oh my God. Hold on, let me wrap this back up. Ciao on tonight's episode. Jasmine had a conversation with Matt shortly after she hung up the phone with Gino, because of course he was standing outside of the door and all of that and everything and stuff like that. So they was having their little conversation. She was crying. She ended up calling Gino's cousin, Michelle, to tell her that Gino had threatened her and she can't see herself not having this baby with Matt. And he had called down to immigration on her. And she was just, it was just so unfair. Well, Michelle suggested a couple of things, and so did Matt. And he took her up on the offer. And child, they went to go and see an immigration lawyer because Jasmine does not want to have the baby outside of the US of A. She wants to go and have this baby with Matt and live happily ever after. And she just wants Gino to swallow it. So she goes down to the immigration office to have a conversation about the baby and about the possibility of being deported. And guess what the attorney told Jasmine when she showed her raggedy up there? She said, well, Jasmine, as far as Jasmine was like, is the baby going to be a U.S. citizen? And she was like, if you had a baby over here, but it don't, if you get deported, the baby up out of here too, and no, the baby won't have it. And then she said, but I did want to tell you this. If your baby is born in Florida and the parents are married at the time of the baby's birth, Gino is automatically considered the legal father.
not Matt. Yo! What? Gino is Matilda's daddy. Legally, that is. Matt has to work it out with Gino. That is, if the baby, if Gino and Jasmine don't get divorced before the baby is born. Thank you, Brent. Brent said also if they divorce within 300 days of the birth. Jasmine will have to get divorced, then a paternity test. It's like that in a lot of states. Gino is Matilda's dad, according to the law. It says that the hospital completes the necessary paperwork at birth and no further action is needed to establish the husband's paternity. He gets automatic legal fatherhood. Florida law presumes the husband to be the legal father of any child born to his wife while they are married, whether it's from Matt's or Gino's. Gino is the daddy. Matt was busted and disgusted. And I know that mofo at that point could not be trusted because they just thought that they were getting over on Gino. He had to swallow all of this mess. Evidently, when Gino went and did his immigration papers to try to get Jasmine deported out of these here US of A's, he didn't do it right. Because even from what the lawyer was saying, Gino could have had her deported. But Gino is the dada, 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 dada. Let me read some more. Automatic establishment paternity is automatically established through this marital relationship, and neither parent needs to take an extra step. Birth certificate. The hospital will typically ask for the husband's information to be listed on the birth certificate. If the husband's name is not listed, it can be challenging to prove legal paternity without a court order. Legal presumption. This legal presumption is strong and can be challenging to open in court, even if the husband is not the biological father. However, a court can override the presumption in specific. Even I went a little further for y'all. Does a father have a right to a child born out of wedlock in Florida? That's different. Matt can do a voluntary acknowledgement of paternity for the baby, but the state of Florida presumes Gino to be the daddy. And she told her straight to her face, straight up in her face. And the both of them sat there stupid. Now, had Matt not moved to Florida, let's see what happened. Let me look it up. Okay, let me look this up. Let's see. They were in Chicago, right, y'all? Oh, this is the same thing in Chicago. The law regarding paternity for a baby born to a married mother is the same in Chicago. The presumption of paternity is that of the husband. Where were they? Oh, they were in Michigan, y'all? Okay, thank you. Hold on, let me go. Hold on. It said, Auntie, like all other one, Michigan law presumes that a husband is the legal father of any child born to his wife during their marriage. It says it can be challenged under the state's Revocation of Paternity Act, ROPA, which offers a specific legal process for revoking paternity. Here is an overview of Michigan's paternity laws for married couples. The legal presumption: a husband is automatically considered the legal father if his wife gives birth while they are married. This applies even if he is not the biological father. The presumption also extends to situations where the child is born within 10 months of the couple divorcing or one spouse dying. Birth certificate: the husband's name will automatically be placed on the birth certificate if the mother is married at the time of conception or of birth. But Matt can use the Revocation of Paternity Act, and it allows several individuals to challenge this presumption, including the mother, the presumed father, or any alleged biological father. A court may order DNA testing that we are to determine that Gino is not the biological father and that Matt is. There are time limits on challenges this paternity. ROPA sets strict deadlines for challenging it. A presumed father generally has 3 years from the child's birth to file a motion to revoke paternity. Gino is the daddy, not Matt. Matt sat there in complete and total shock. So I asked, is there a state that does not have this presumption? And they said no. Every U.S. state has a legal presumption that a husband is the father of a child born to his wife during their marriage. The principle is a long-standing component of common law in the United States, rooted in the historical need to establish paternity for inheritance and child support purposes. Wait a minute, hold on. Hold on, wait. Honey, even the veins is coming out. Wait a minute, let me see. Damn. Hold on for a second. Let me see. Hold on, y'all. Wait a minute. What do y'all think downtown in the comment section? Let me see what y'all saying. Okay. Oh, dang. Gino may possibly have to pay child support. That's the least of Gino's worries, but you're right. They didn't think about this when they agreed on that open marriage. Gino makes more money, so Jasmine is going to dollar bill. Matt is definitely embarrassed. He doesn't act like he wanted a baby. I doubt it because Jasmine and her anchor baby are still here. Hey, George, they're still here. So whatever Gino did as far as his threats and telling Jasmine that she needed to pay the $75,000. I think that Gino was all talk and no action, because I think that if he had pursued it, he probably could have proved that she was not here, but I don't know. She is still here in the United States. She is still on social media every time you turn around. I think that Jasmine ended up, hold on, let me see something, y'all. I think that Jasmine ended up coming up trying to explain this situation, but let me see where I found it. Where did I find it at? Who does the let's see. I think that she tried to come out and talk about it. Hold on, let me see if this is the post. Hold on, y'all. Wait a minute, hold on. So I'm trying to find a video that she came out with. Let me see, y'all, because she came out with a video that I saw today, and I can't think of whose site it was on. Hold on.
Matilda kind of has two dads.
Okay, so here we go. Hold on, let me start from the beginning. Hopefully y'all can hear it because it ain't gonna get no louder. Hold on, let me key it out.
What I'm about to say is not easy. At this moment, Matilda kind of has two dads. One is her legal father, and the other one is her biological father. We're sharing this because we want to be open and honest and ask for your understanding. Please don't be so quick to judge, because me and Matt, we're doing everything in our power to fix things and make the situation right, but it takes time. Our priority has always been and will always be, what's best for Matilda. So thank you so much for your love and for your support as we navigate this. What I'm about to say is not easy. At this moment, Matilda kind of has two dads. One is her legal father, and the other one is her biological father. We're sharing this with.
What y'all think about that? Now, all of a sudden, since it's coming up on the episode, Jasmine wants to come out and be transparent. Now you want to be transparent with your business out in the street. So you weren't doing this, Jasmine, because you wanted all of us to know, because you would have said that from the giddy up. But of course, she's getting her coins from TLC, I'm assuming. And she got to play the game. Well, she knew before, while she was still pregnant, while that baby was still in her stomach, that Gino was the daddy. A whole bunch of foolishness, and then tell people not to judge. How can we not judge a married woman that will sit there and convince her, you know what, I was getting ready, oof, and convince her stupid, gullible husband into allowing her to be in a relationship with Matt, and then not only get in a relationship with him, but also get pregnant by him. Okay. I'm a nurse at a fertility clinic in New Jersey, and we won't have women freeze embryos with a new partner, sperm, or even woo unless they have a divorce decree to file because of the laws. If I was Gino, I would hold that divorce up for the rest of her life just because you was dirty. Y'all remember Nene Leak's favorite words? You never can win when you're dirty. I would be dirty for just a little while. I'd be waddling in the dirt, modeling in the dirt, getting up in the dirt, going to sleep in the dirt. I would be eating in the dirt. I'd be having fun in the dirt. I would be so dirty. I would hold that divorce up for just about Jasmine's life if I could. I sure would. Anyway, I'm gonna get up out of here because I got a bunch of videos that I need to catch up with, and I'll be doing that. What you saying, honey? Oh, somebody got politics in there. Did you delete it, Ray Dallum? You don't do that. Exactly. You got okay. Thank you, love. I'll talk to you all soon. Just thought I'd drop y'all that little bit of tea. Bye, y'all.